Why is Nigeria so rich? Nigeria, a multinational state whose mixed economy is the largest in Africa, the 25th largest in the world by nominal GDP, and the 25th largest by PPP, is a lower middle income country. It has abundant supply of natural resources, well-developed financial, legal, communication, transport sectors, and Nigeria's stock exchange. For the success story of Nigeria to be truly understood, it is important to have a brief understanding of where the modern-day Nigeria we see today came from. Modern-day Nigeria originated from British colonization in the 19th century. The British set up administrative and legal structures while they practiced indirect rule through traditional chiefdoms in the Nigerian region. Nigeria then became a formally independent federation on October 1, 1960. Though the country ranks very low in the Human Development Index and remains one of the most corrupt nations in the world, Nigeria is a member of many international organizations, including the United Nations, the Commonwealth of Nations, NAM, the Economic Community of West African States, and OPEC. It is a founding member of African Union and a member of the informal Mint group of countries. However, the country keeps experiencing positive growth, and in present days, Nigeria is a regional power in Africa, a middle power in international affairs, and an emerging global power. Welcome to Think Rich Africa, the community which brings to you entrepreneurial, business, and personal development content to inform, motivate, and why not inspire you. We also want to introduce you to our special African development playlist because we strongly believe that entrepreneurship, rather than global PT, is the key to Africa's growth and development. So if you're African and aren't subscribed to our community, you're missing out. Abuja, Nigeria's administrative and political capital, is located at the center. It is not just the fastest growing city in Africa, but also one of the fastest growing in the world. Being a key capital on the African continent, due to Nigeria's geopolitical influence in regional affairs, Abuja's economy is mainly driven by real estate. Lagos, another economic center in Nigeria and most populous city in Africa, is a major African financial center. It was the national capital of Nigeria until December 1991 and is known to be the cultural, financial, and entertainment capital of Africa. As top influencer of commerce, entertainment, technology, education, politics, art and fashion in Nigeria, Lagos has the fourth highest GDP in Africa. Nigeria is inhabited by more than 250 ethnic groups, speaking 500 different languages, and being identified with a wide variety of cultures. There are three largest ethnic groups in Nigeria, which are the Hausa in the north, Yoruba in the west, and Igbo in the east, together comprising over 60% of the total population of Nigeria. At national level, English was chosen as official language. With a constitution that ensures freedom of religion, Nigeria is home to some of the world's largest Muslim and Christian populations simultaneously. It is roughly divided in half between Muslims, who live mostly in the north, and Christians, who live mostly in the south. Nigeria has in the minority indigenous religions, such as those native to the Igbo and Yoruba ethnicity. Apparently, we're not here to talk about religion or ethnicity, but rather discover Nigeria's economic success story. Is Nigeria rich by chance or by merit? Well, let's find out. Economic development in Nigeria had been hindered by years of military rule, corruption, and mismanagement. In the 70s during the oil boom, Nigeria had a significant accumulated foreign debt, which was used to finance major infrastructural investments. The country struggled to keep up with its loan payments, even with the fall of oil prices during the 80s oil glut. After negotiations by the Nigerian authorities in October 2005, Nigeria and its Paris Club creditors reached an agreement under which Nigeria repurchased its debt at a discount of approximately 60%. Part of its oil profits were used to pay the residual 40%, which freed up at least $1.15 billion annually for poverty reduction programs. In April 2006, Nigeria became the first African country to completely pay off its debt owed by the Paris Club. Due to the restoration of democracy and subsequent economic reforms, Nigeria was put back on track to achieve its full economic potential. The second largest source of foreign exchange in Nigeria, with petroleum being the first, are remittances sent home by Nigerians living abroad. Nigeria has abundance in arable land, but a shortage in farmland in the most densely settled areas of the southeastern states. Cultural traditions such as prohibition against selling family land have restricted access to farmland in some localities with abundant land for cultivation. Desertification in the far north has severely limited the land area available for cultivation. Still, about 30% of Nigerians make a living from agricultural production, most of which are subsistence farmers who produce only a little surplus for sale. Since the 1982 step taken by the government to halt the decline in industrial crop production, many farmers have been motivated to cultivate tree crops, and plantations of oil palm and cocoa have been established by the federal and state governments. Some Nigerian farmers raise pigs, sheep and goats, while the Fulanese still hold on to their cattle rearing. Forestry was a major contributor to the foreign exchange earnings of Nigeria, which assisted in various developmental projects in the country, thereby playing a very important role in the economy of the nation. In densely settled areas, such as the Niger Delta, there is extensive forest destruction, where overgrazing, bushfires, and the great demand for fuel prevent normal regeneration of plants on fallow land. There are many large plantations of exotic species, such as Germilina and teak, established by the government to provide electric and telegraph poles and fuel wood. Nigeria's forest ecosystem contains many valuable plant species, which are of considerable value in providing food, shelter, drugs, and fibers. Suggestions have been made that there may be over 6,000 non-timber forest products. Despite the fact that only 10% of Nigeria's 99.3 million hectares of land is estimated as forest, positive decisions are currently being made to ensure the sustainable management of the forest. Following the loss of thousands of head of livestock during the recurring drought in the Sahel, fishing has assumed greater importance as a food source in Nigeria. More than half of the fish demand is supplied by the domestic catch, while Lake Chad and the southern coastal waters are the main sources of fish. Large quantities are also caught every year in pools in seasonal rivers of the northern states. Petroleum plays a great role in the Nigerian economy, accounting for 80% of government earnings and 40% of GDP. Nigeria is the 8th largest exporter, has the 10th largest proven reserves, and is the 12th largest producer of petroleum in the world. Agitation for better resource control in the Niger Delta, its main oil-producing region, has however led to disruptions in oil production and prevents the country from exporting 100% capacity. According to the Department of Petroleum Resources, Nigeria has a total of over 159 oil fields and 1,481 wells in operation. Most of Nigeria's oil fields are small and scattered, and as of 1990, these small fields accounted for 62.1% of all Nigerian production. This contrasts with the 16 largest fields, which produced 37.9% of Nigeria's petroleum at the time. Nigeria also has, in addition to its petroleum resources, a wide array of unexploited mineral resources, which include natural gas, bauxite, coal, limestone, lead, and zinc. Despite huge deposits of these natural resources, we can say the mining industry in Nigeria is still in its infancy. With a mix of local and international banks, asset management companies, brokerage houses, insurance companies and brokers, private equity funds and investment banks, Nigeria has a highly developed financial sector. Its ICT sector has experienced a lot of growth, representing 10% of the nation's GDP since 2018, compared to 1% in 2001. Nigeria has one of the fastest growing telecommunications markets in the world, with major operating market operators like MTN, Nine Mobile, Airtel, and Globacom basing their largest and most profitable centers in the country. More so, Lagos is regarded as one of the largest technological hubs in Africa, with its thriving tech ecosystem. Also, several startups like PiggyVest, InterSwitch, and Paystack are leveraging technology to solve issues across different sectors. Nigeria has an ample amount of ethnic groups, but also includes rainforests, savanna, waterfalls, and other natural attractions. And because of this, tourism in the country centers largely on events. Abuja is home for several parks and green areas, like the Millennium Park, which is the largest and was officially opened in 2003. Lagos is gradually taking steps like the Iyo Carnival to becoming a global city and has become an important location for African and Black cultural identity. Many festivals are held in Lagos, which provide entertainment of dance and song, which add excitement and attract tourists to the city. It is impossible not to mention the Lagos sandy beaches by the Atlantic Ocean and its many private beach resorts, including a Nagbe Grand Beach Resort and several others in the outskirts. Also, we cannot afford to take no notice of the variety of hotels that Lagos has, ranging from 3-star to 5-star, with a mixture of local hotels and franchises of multinational chains such as the Intercontinental Hotel and many more. With all these, the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation has been working with the government for upgrades which would become important sources of more revenue. Furthermore, Nigeria has a manufacturing industry that includes leather, textile, centered in Kano, Abeokuta, Onitsha, and Lagos, plastics, processed food, and the most recent indigenous auto manufacturing company, Innoson Vehicle Manufacturing. Most factories are located in Ogun, considered as Nigeria's industrial hub, while more companies are moving there, followed by Lagos. The country has a few electronic manufacturers like Xerox, and in 2013, Nigeria introduced a policy regarding import duty on vehicles to encourage local manufacturing companies in the country. The city of Aba in the southeastern part of the country is also well known for handicrafts and shoes, known as Aba Made. Most of the energy consumed in the country comes from traditional biomass and waste, which accounts for 83% of total primary production. The remaining 17% of the energy consumed comes from fossil fuels and hydropower. Since independence, Nigeria has tried to develop a domestic nuclear industry for energy, and since 2004, Nigeria has had a Chinese origin research reactor at Ahmadu Bello University. Also, the country has sought the support of the International Atomic Agency to develop plans for up to 4,000 megawatts electric for nuclear capacity by 2027, according to the National Program for Deployment of Nuclear Power for Generation of Electricity. In 2017, Nigeria signed the UN Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, and in the same year, agreements were signed for the construction of the Itu nuclear power plant. The railways in Nigeria have undergone massive revamping, with projects such as Lagos-Kano Standard Gauge Railway being completed, connecting northern cities of Kano, Kaduna, Abuja, Ibadan, and Lagos. Also, more than 60,068 kilometers out of 194,394 kilometers are paved, and more are being paved at the moment. There are 54 airports in Nigeria, with the principal airports being the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos and the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. As an effect of how the Nigerian government is responding to internet freedom, among other things, such as limitations to access the internet and violations of users' rights, Nigeria is ranked 26th out of 65 countries, evaluated for internet freedom in the Freedom House of 2020 Index. Recently, the Nigerian government has begun expanding this infrastructure to space-based communications. The country has a space satellite that is monitored at the Nigerian National Space Research and Development Agency in its headquarters in Abuja. The government has also commissioned the overseas production and launch of 4 satellites. It is no doubt that Nigeria can be referred to as headquarters of the entertainment industry in Africa. In November 2008, Nigeria's music scene received international attention when MTV hosted the continent's first African Music Awards show in Abuja. Additionally, the first music video played on MTV-based Africa was Two-Face Idibia's Pan-African hit, African Queen, after which came countless hits from notable Nigerian artists. The Nigerian film industry Nollywood is now the largest producer of movies in the world. At the end of 2013, the country's film industry reportedly hit a record-breaking revenue of 1.72 trillion naira, and as of 2014, the industry was worth $5.1 billion, making it the third valuable film industry in the world. The movie industry contributed about 1.4% of Nigeria's economy. Also, the Nigerian comedy industry is the largest comedy industry in Africa and is now the third largest entertainment industry in Nigeria, with an annual estimated worth of 50 billion naira. The Nigerian dance industry is as well booming and prospering worldwide. Nigerian dance is often a mixture of Afrobeat, hip-hop, and local West African dances, making dancing an excellent profession in Nigeria. Also, football is largely considered as Nigeria's national sport, and the country's national team, the Super Eagles, has made the World Cup on 6 occasions, and the African Nations Cup on several occasions as well. All these sectors, from agriculture to entertainment, have a coaxium which synopsizes all of Nigeria's efforts into a monument that is the modern-day Nigerian economy. To all those Nigerians that are yet to feel the actual implications of economic upturn and so doubt their country, here is a take-home message for you. Change has come, and it's here not only for you, but for your children and your next generations. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching the video, please do not forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and become a member of our growing diverse community here on Think Rich Africa. Thanks for watching, and see you in another interesting video.